So, John, it ends as a 2-1 defeat, but there's still positives to take from that performance today.
Loads of positives. Great performance for the best part of, well, probably for the first half. I thought we were outstanding, and then for 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes of the game, they've had 25 minutes there in the second half where they showed the quality, where they got the goal. It felt like they were building pressure. The overloads they create, especially on the right hand side, eventually paid off. It was a great strike from Kirby to give them the lead. But we've had a right go, part-time side against full-time side, and that's. People who watch these interviews think it's a way of accepting losing the game, but what should happen in them games is the last half an hour, the full-time model should take over. I didn't think I'd see a Buxton side hanging on against a team that finished 5th from bottom last season, managing the game the way they did, and that's all credit to them, because that's what top sides do. They're my favourite to win a league and win promotion. That's just my opinion, but I thought from a performance point of view today we were outstanding. Deserved a lot more out of the game than what we got, but I think when you're as good as we are in the first half, but you're 1-0 behind after a minute, you're chasing the game, you're leaving yourself vulnerable. To come back, get the equaliser, and then really push on was really pleasing to see. Everything we've worked on, the preparation in terms of the opposition, in terms of what we wanted to do, we've applied. We just didn't get the result we deserved.
What do you think the difference was maybe in the second half? Was it a case of Buxton reviving themselves in that second half, or is it a case of maybe a lapse in concentration from ourselves?
When you're playing against a full-time side and they go in at half-time at 1-1, they can make changes, little tactical switches that they work on, and I think that you saw that for a good 20-25 minutes. I don't think there's always an opposition, an opponent trying to stop you. It's not about what you're doing or what you're not doing. The opponent's trying to stop you at home. And I thought for 20 minutes we, if I'm being critical, took our foot off the gas a little bit. Our press in the first half was unreal, absolutely brilliant. The amount of turnovers we got in the final third. But I thought for the first 20 minutes of the second half we stood off them a little bit. I don't know if that's us getting a second wind, a bit of a breather after half time. But I personally, watching from the stand, felt under pressure. And then the goal came where you just think you've rode the storm for 20 minutes. The goal came, and then they stood off, and we've had a right go at them. So, as I said, there's an opponent in front of you, a quality opponent in front of you, that can see what's going wrong, and they make tactical changes, and it's worked for them.
How do you think the impact of losing John Taylor quite early in that second half played into that as well?
Well, it does, doesn't it? You enforce changes. Listen, if we're going to have a really good season this year, which we will have, then the squad, every single member of the squad needs to be at it. So the fact now we can name 7 subs, use 5 of them, means that even when you've got probably a bit of a niggle or an injury or a tiredness, he didn't train Thursday night, John. He was ill. And then McFadzean came out of training on Thursday. So all the preparation and planning we'd done, sort of including either them or without them, affected us a little bit. But I thought he was really good, John, today. Got his goal. I thought Bally got a touch, got his goal. But I think it had, for about 10 minutes, probably had a bit of an impact. Goal came from that side as well. That's nothing against Mike, who came on, who I thought was very good. But it's more the fact that leadership, that experience on that side of the pitch, probably affected us a little bit for 5-10 minutes.
Under yourself and Bernard as well, it's been very rare that we've seen 2 forwards further up the pitch, but this season it seems to be almost in your thinking. Is there a tactical reason behind that, or is it just because of the players that we possess?
Well, I think when we reflected back on last season, we conceded far too many goals, but we didn't create that many chances. So this year it's about trying to build pressure, keep the ball in the opponent's defensive third, which is what we did today. And I think having 2 forwards on the pitch allows you to do that. It occupies both centre halves if they're playing with a back 4. It allows you to create that little bit of pressure by having a second man. What it does, it leaves you vulnerable in other positions, because that person has to come from somewhere else. But what we know now is that we've got a couple of different formations, shapes that we can flip from. But yeah, we've got some quality forwards. Thought Jordan, Bally, Hallam, Rio. Dudds came on in as an attacking midfielder. We've got some really good options there. So it's about getting the best out of them.
You previously alluded to Mikey's performance, but also I thought the subs grew into the game as well, and we were very unfortunate not to carve out that one final chance as well today.
No, I totally agree. I just said that to the lad. I thought, lads, every single sub, Rio, Hallam, Duds, Isaac, Mikey all played the part. You know, it's very often when you not very often when you put 5 subs on that they're all involved. But I thought they all had a right goal. That was really pleasing to see. The lads, they all came on for good games. The subs came on at good games. We built really good pressure, didn't we, over the last 10-12 minutes. Some good chances, good opportunities. That I thought the header from Lewis looked like one of them that the keeper might spill. Listen, probably the best sub of the day was probably them bringing the keeper on at half time. He seemed to be much busier, swept really well. So yeah, they made a really good sub. Not often you see that. I'm assuming he's injured, but I thought he did really well, the goalie, when he came on. Took some pressure off him. But we everything that we set out to do, we achieved, apart from the obvious one, and that's getting the result.
Just before we focus on next week's fixture, is there any update in terms of John Taylor's potential injury?
No, I don't know anything about it. Obviously, I was up in the stand, so I don't even know why he's come off, to be honest with you. So I'll find that out tonight in the morning. And obviously we've got a couple more, but we'll see what that looks like.
And then finally we face up to Spennymoor next time out. What are your early thoughts on that one?
Well, I'm not thinking about Spennymoor as it stands now. I think they've had a good win today. I've just looked at the scores. Mine and Burnsall, stomping ground. Fantastic club. They'll bring a decent number of supporters down as well. So we won't think about that until probably tomorrow, maybe Monday. We'll review the footage of today, what we could have done better. Then we'll start to think about Spenny once we get all the reports from their game today. But that makes for a really exciting game next week.
Perfect. Cheers, John.